Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I'm Ali Carl, and welcome to the first Let's Talk of the new year. And today's Let's Talk is going to be quite controversial to most players. For the most part, things in the division have changed for the better. Numbers are up for players, loot is plentiful, and there isn't a reason to enter the dark zone unless you're into killing other players. Now is the time we need to differentiate the division, and it would seem to already be there and be in the works, but it needs to be more specific, and we need to go ahead and start looking at recalibrating the specific pieces of the division, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. You see, each version of the division is slightly different when you go from PC to console and back. Any PC player will have much better aim than your average console noob. I notice a huge difference when I play on PC and when I play on console. People comment the same on my videos as well, that my PC gameplay is far superior to my console gameplay, and that is because of a few things. The first is that I come from a PC gaming background. Mountie has been playing video games on PC since the 1980s. Yes, that is a long time, when PC games were far and away superior to any console game out there. So mouse and keyboard are old hat to me. Secondly, I used to play competitively on PC back in the good old days of Quake and Battlefield and Doom and all of those games back in the day. Mostly Battlefield, but since that was my first experience in a clan gaming environment. Now, back when I was doing it, there wasn't any e-leagues or anything like that. If you wanted to compete, it was mostly over TWL, which is pretty much defunct at this point, but you can still find a TWL website out there, and you can go check it out, and it's basically just a ladder league for the most part, and that was good enough for everybody that was already there. However, the introduction to console has changed the landscape, and now PC and console gaming in terms of competitive play are on par with pretty much each other, and even console pushing ahead. You can find that leagues will have more opening on console and PC, or more console than PC, because of the reduced ability to hack and mod the game files to help you gain an advantage. However, there's still ways, from what I have seen, to mod the files and use external peripherals to gain an advantage on console. So why am I discussing PC and console gaming? Well, because I think it's time to split the division into two games. There needs to be a branch in the code, and that takes console and PCs into two directions. Now, the game will stay fundamentally the same, but the little things need to be kind of separated. Here's why I say this. When there is a problem with weapons or gear or something that gives an advantage to the meta, it doesn't matter which platform is on. Massive makes wide sweeping changes to both of them. However, this is the wrong approach, because when things like shotguns become an issue, it's an issue on PC, or console, or it's an issue on console only, but it's not on both, because the versions are already different, so to the player at least. So why make a change on both of them? Well, because it's easier and it's kind of lazy. If you've learned anything, it's that Massive will take the shortest route possible, but it's hurting the game. You see, the issue with shotguns in 1.4 was that auto aim on console was the issue, not on PC. This is similar to why the Deadeye gear set was nerfed from 1.3 state to the way it is now. People on PC were going around hip-firing melting people with marksman rifles, but this wasn't an issue on console. It was somewhat of an issue, but it wasn't the meta. It wasn't ever the meta. Now, let's go ahead and back this up. Let's take Blizzard for an example. A company known for quality, code, and just personally, they set the bar for the standard of which PC games should be made. And now, moving into console with Overwatch. And Overwatch is a game played on both PC and console, but when the issue of Torbjorn's turret wrecking people too much, they nerfed it. But they only nerfed it on console and not PC. Well, why? Why did they do that? Well, because the issue here was player aim. Players couldn't react to the turret fast enough on console with a controller, but PC players were showing no signs of having any issue with the turret. So they only fixed the issue on console, because that was the only place there was an issue. This is exactly what needs to happen to the division. The nerfs or buffs don't need to happen across the entire platform unless the problem is with everything on the platform, because the games are inherently different due to the mouse and keyboard being so much more accurate and precise. Another example I can point out is when they try to initiate the, actually when I'm playing on PC and I try to initiate an ability, the ability will stick and try to make it as though I'm holding down the button, forcing me to press the key twice in some instances. And that's just not how it should work. You should be able to press the button. It should work very similar to how it works on console, where you just press the button down. I don't see why they choose to make some things different on PC and why they choose to make some things unique on console, but they make these wide sweeping changes when there's a problem and they nerf it across the entire thing. And the Dark Zone on PC isn't really talked about in the same light on the console version, because the worst issue the Dark Zone has on PC are hackers rather than just the run-of-the-mill rogues, which are very prominent on the console, because if you have great aim, you're going to have a much better time on the console. And now that I've actually realized this, if you have better internet, you also have a much better time. I've actually heard that the PC Dark Zoning is much more enjoyable from people that play on PC. So for those of you out there that have both, which one do you prefer? Do you think they need to make specific platform changes rather than blanket changes across the game? Do you think they need to narrow in on the problems of PC and the problems on console and not on the just wide platform there it is? Go ahead and leave your comments down in the comments section. I want to hear from you if you guys have had any comment on this. If you like this video, drop a like on it, hit subscribe button for more content. For all of those people who are out there who are wondering if PC is actually that much different, it actually is. The mouse and keyboard changes how the game is played. There are some things that are much easier on PC to do, and then there are some things that are just much easier with a controller. There are definitely pros and cons, like rolling around on the ground isn't as prominent as PC because it's a little bit more ridiculous with the mouse and keyboard using the WSD keys, and it's just you're trying to roll around. It's definitely more precise when you're shooting as well, and you don't have the stability accuracy issues that you see on console, especially with my gameplay. So anyways, if you like this video, drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. We're going to be going all year long. For all of us here at The Division Let's Talk, I'm Mounty Curl, and we'll see you next time in the Dark Zone. Agent out.